Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and NBs of all ages, it is with deepest pride and greatest pleasure that I invite you back to Brian's Mind Palace. Amy, hi.
Hi.
Do you like what
Hi.
I've done? Do you like what I've done to my mind?
It's it's a lot cleaner. Oh, I see a little bluey figurine. I can't think what the character's name is though. Is
That's
that the mother?
that's Rusty.
No. Rusty.
That's
Okay.
Rusty. He's a fantastic young man, his lore of which I will happily discuss. But instead of talking about the greatest program on this great flat earth of ours, let us talk about one of the other forms of storytelling, which is Brian's Mind Palace. Brian's Mind Palace is a single-player Dungeons and Dragons style experience. If you do not know what Dungeons and Dragons is, it is a tabletop role-playing game where we use dice to help us tell stories. Previously on Brian's Mind Palace, Amy, or as she was being called, Myra Hopkins, from Davenport, Iowa, had experienced what we can only say was the most hallmarky of hallmark experiences, where she moved away from the big city. She turned away from millions and millions and millions of dollars and her filthy tennis club fiancé, and she returned home to Nene, her grandmother, and started up her very own bakery in the tradition of her own family lineage. She is now the tri-state pie baking champion with a lovely piece of rugged American beef on her arm by the name of Jensen.
Oh, I forgot about this.
And without any more gilding the lily, and without any further ado, Amy, could you roll the dice we said we'd roll to see where we are timeline-wise? I believe we said a D6.
Yeah. So it's 4.
It's been 4 months.
Oh,
So the bakery's up and running. Everything seems to be ticking along. But there has been a presence in the town. For
okay.
every traditional mom and pop shop seems to be dwindling due to a corporate takeover. For Myra, welched on her contract, and her employers, not seeking direct reparations, seem to be trying to buy out and homogenize this quaint little country town. So, how has Myra been feeling about having her happily ever after be slightly scuppered by the encroaching, ever looming presence of corporate capitalism?
She's not happy about it, right? Considering she left the corporate capitalism to come home, and it seems to have followed her back. So she's not a happy little camper. She's angry. Bacon
Has
pies.
she has she taken to any specific form of anger management?
Oh, yes, she's taking up boxing. She's sparring. Nice little
Wonderful.
bag of flour hanging in
Oh,
the shop that she
wonderful.
uses.
Wonderful. Full on giant I would like there's flour, and then there's like caster sugar, and it's like as she's using it to like just to,
Think of Rocky
it's a
in the
new
meat in the freezer, and
it's a
this is
new
her version of it.
it's a new gimmick for the shop. So the like dusting. There's like the sugar, and then there's like the cinnamon. So she's
Yeah,
like she's able to,
powder your own pie.
yeah. Oh, there. If that's not a euphemism, I don't know what is. Um, Speaking of Myra having her pie powdered, how are things with Jensen?
I hope they're still going well, but something tells me,
Well, let's let the dice decide. Can you make a success or failure roll for me? Odds are for the gods and for the good, and evens. What did we
Odds
know?
are what?
Odds are good.
Okay,
Evens
we're
are
good then. We
bad.
got a 5.
Yay!
Oh, we're not good. Okay, I'm gonna have to like try and angle that.
Fabulous.
Right.
Can you employ a D20 for me?
I can.
And just to see how well things are going. 20 being the highest score, meaning very good. And a 1 being ticking along.
Are we just basing it on what the 20 dice is?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a 9 on the 20.
So yeah, things are I mean,
They're
this is the
there.
thing. This is the thing about happily ever after. It's quite boring. Haven't had the excitement and the rush and the flurry of new love. Now they've settled into comfort and routine. How's
Okay with
Myra?
that.
How's Myra feeling about that?
Okay, she's okay with that. She's happy with that.
Yeah,
We like routine. We like normal.
yeah, it's
We
great.
like comfortable.
So let's make sure that nothing else happens to change that. How's Nene doing? Could we ask the dice?
Okay. We just
So
which dice are we using?
just we'll go with the 20 for the rest.
Okay.
So give me an odd or even roll to
Oh,
see
we got
how.
a 12.
Okay, so it's even.
Oh
So
no.
so Nene is not great. To what degree can you ask the dice for me, please?
Oh my God, are we gonna kill my grandmother?
Let the dice decide. Nene,
20?
Nene, unfortunately, scoring the highest degree of intensity on a negative storytelling moment, but it is a natural 20. With natural 20s, typically you will allow a little bit of a, I like to allow a bit of a flurry. Nene has passed, but she's not gone.
Ooh.
We're now dealing with Ghost Nene. She is ever present. She has decided she is able to appear in the family home where Myra has now taken up residence with Jensen, and she is able to appear in the bakery
Okay.
in the cafe. So she's ever present in those two places. Um, Myra has had to set up some boundaries about the bedroom because Nene did in her
No, no,
time.
nay, nay.
Nene in her time was referred to as a cherry pie. So Nene knows a thing or two about a thing or two, and it's never good when your grandmother is whispering Kama Sutra pages to you during.
That's the image I ever
Yeah.
wanted to
So
have.
um this is your story to tell.
Mm.
What is it do you think is keeping Nene in this particular plane of existence?
Well,
What is
from
her
my
unfinished business?
finished business. Okay. So it was uh I know we say she has since passed. Was it a natural kind of passing, as in she passed in her sleep sort of thing, or do we know was it uh,
Make
walking
a
across the street?
make an intensity roll from you there, and we'll see.
Okay, so it's a 15.
15. Yeah. She was kayaking, and there was a grizzly bear got in the way, and Nene fought a grizzly bear, and even though she did win, while she was celebrating, she did a cartwheel on a slippery rock and broke her neck.
Okay.
Yeah. They said they still have the bear rug was then donated by the national park to the family, and it is now in the hallway in the family home in honor of Nene.
Okay, then. So I think then what's keeping Nene here is knowing that we technically have given her part of the reason as to why she's dead, a pride of place in her old home.
Okay.
Which would probably be a reason as to why she's still around. She wants us to get rid of the rug.
Okay. Cool.
Um, I would also actually, yeah, no, she's just going to be bitter about our what's the word I'm thinking of our decoration of her house, of her
Yeah.
beautiful farmhouse that we've
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
decided to modernize.
Yeah. Without question, she is a woman of refine and taste, and things must be just so. Um, grief does strange things to people. So unfortunately, they thought it's what she would have wanted. Them probably knowing full well, but come on,
Oh, she's telling us that's not what she wanted.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, this is the thing. Do you believe Myra is in contact directly, or are we talking about just kind of banging doors and shutters clattering? Like how ghostly and how involved do you think Myra is?
So
Is this a
I'd say
is this a Garfield situation where we think she's talking to us, or is Myra having full on conversations with her spectral grandmother?
I think it's more along the lines of Myra just thinks she hasn't fully processed her death.
Cool,
So she doesn't actually realize that she
full on.
is a ghost, whereas everyone else is like,
You're
there
good.
is some weird shit going on in the house, but we can't explain it. And
Kind
then
of
we now have a
cold when
clairvoyant.
cold when the thermostat is up. Doors swinging open.
Yeah.
Letterboxes clattering and all. Okay, but Myra
Yeah.
is kind of still quite shaken
Mhm.
by it all. Do you think is she carrying this around with her as she moves around? It's been 4 months,
I think it's
6 months.
more along lines of just still in the early I mean, 4 months. I mean, 4 months. As I recall, I hadn't actually been home in a long time. So, I mean, reconnecting. So it's more of a guilt as opposed to a grieving. Because if I remember the last time, I hadn't actually, Myra hadn't returned home in quite some time.
Yep.
So she did actually only have 4 months to reconnect before it was taken away. So it's more of a guilt thing as opposed to a grieving process. So it's just like yeah, it's like I really kind of wasted the golden years.
Okay. Um, the ever encroaching corporate entity.
Mhm.
On your dice rolling system, could
Mhm.
you find that the number 10 there? Could you click that for me just to see something?
Click the 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, if we're combining two dices together, I have 17.
What's on the 10 one?
8.
Um, 8 stores have been taken over by this corporate entity. They've had the laundromat, the diner, the gas station.
Mm-hmm.
They've had the local school has been taken over. They have their like kind of dance hall come like arts and recreation center. They took the recreation center,
Yeah.
and the local flower shop gone, the butchers gone, and there was a lovely candle shop as well, is since slowly being turned into a Yankee Candle, but that's not given way just yet.
Okay.
Through all of this, has Myra divulged of why she thinks this is happening?
think it's more along the lines of I think she thinks it's a way to kind of not give in to the corporate overlord.
But has she told? Did she tell Jensen? Did she say
Oh
it to them?
God. She hasn't told him, but he's noticing there's some
Yeah.
oddities going on. He's living in the house as well,
Oh
so
yeah,
like
yeah.
he's noticing some strange shit. He's hearing the
So
scratching on the walls, thinking it's mice.
yeah, it could be just Nene. But
It's definitely.
of all of the every single day, a suit shows up with a ledger and a check. Been doing this for 4 months now. They were there conveniently right after Nene's funeral. So they didn't show up into town until she was gone. I think we all know why. She'd have ran them off. Post and then haste. So that's where the local zeal and resilience have since been drained away, and you can see that in the town. For every time another store gets taken over, everyone remains, but just that little bit lack of color and saturation gone out of their eyes. So, of the places mentioned, where would you like Myra to go just to have a regular conversation with her townsfolk?
Um, Probably the diner.
Yeah. Diner used to be proper, like home cooked, really fresh made from like local surrounding area. Everything seemed to funnel through this diner. Cakes were sold, bread was sold from the bakery, and everything kind of went through the diner. So it was a real jewel for the town. It was the first thing to be taken, and almost like a rot has spread throughout the town. So in the diner, what was Myra's regular order for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
All three. Okay. Do you know what? We'll go with where her dinner order would have been.
Cool.
Okay, is a cheeseburger, chili fries, and a strawberry milkshake.
Okay. The cheeseburger has remained. The milkshake has remained. They're just fries now. And that's been the theme for all of the places. They have kept everything and taken just that little element, that little bit of quirkiness, you know, almost say that little bit of creativity. And there's a certain drudgery now in the diner where you would have had like maybe the local radio on, maybe a couple of few people from the local arts centre just playing in the corner. It was just this hive of connectivity. Now everyone just sits bolt upright. They all pay with card and Apple Watch. Everything's getting far more beep, beep, beep. You think Myra is gonna keep trying to pay in cash, or will she acquiesce to this
People
new
continue to pay in cash.
cool? For years, you used to be able to pay in trade. That went pretty quickly. The first day of the takeover, and Myra showed up with, muffins and batch bread, and they were like, you know, this isn't what we ordered. She's like, well, what do you mean what you ordered? I'll take what I give you as a joke.
You
You know what I
fucking
mean?
like it.
Why? They're still your they're still your neighbors. They just don't seem like friends anymore. So sitting down now to dinner of your cheeseburger, milkshake, and plain fries, could you make an intensity check for me?
Which dice am I using?
Just go for the 20.
It's a two.
This is quite frankly an insult to call it a meal. Um, you'd probably be better off just chewing on the cardboard that's in the dumpsters outside with the raccoons. But there wasn't much else available. Myra, even though a baker, doesn't tend to cook. I think that's more Jensen's thing. But for this day and in this moment, she has now sitting in this diner with soulless, homogenized, corporate, even fake. It's not even real pop music. It's that I can't believe it's not the song I'm listening to song, just to avoid any copyright infringement, which seems to be the main modus operandi that seems to be going into the town. Legalities and rubber stamping and bureaucracy. So how is Myra feeling now, having her meal?
Just, it's not home anymore. Angry, kind of how everything had gone. The way it was 4 lovely months of just being able to live like a person again, and now it feels like she's back in the rat race that she ran away from.
When Myra is paying, can you make a success or failure roll? Odd is good, even is bad.
The 17.
Okay. They're still accepting the cash. And she pays and tries to crack a few jokes and goes to offer the money, takes it back, and just
Mm.
nothing. There is no banter to be had here. Usually, while paying, they would offer up a dessert to go. Nothing. Nothing cheeky, nothing extra about what's going on. No friendly coffee handed to her as she goes out. She has had the habit of, while paying, turning and without even looking, puts her hand out for the complimentary coffee, and it's not there. So it's a colder night, and she's going without a usual friendly gesture. And can you make an intensity check for me with the D20? Let's see what this walk home is going to be like.
It's a 13.
You have an option.
Okay.
You can either take the direct route home, or as Myra would normally do with her coffee, just kind of pal around and take in the take in the hum of the slowly settling village inn before she headed home. Do you think she'd go direct route, or would she try to recapture that little bit of homeliness?
Considering the mood that she's in, she'll probably try to recapture.
There's much in what we saw in episode 1. As she's walking, she can see her reflection of the young girl. And right as she's standing in front of the candle store, and she stands and kind of sees herself, kind of the light illuminating on a small child's face of the window display. And then the light goes out, and you just see coming soon Yankee Candle. Everything is getting darker. And there's a sense that with all this corporate entity entering, that, yeah, the infrastructure has gone a little bit better, but the old joke of, I think these new streetlights have cameras in them was thrown around initially as a joke. Now doesn't feel like it's as funny.
No.
There's a presence now. Standing in front of a place where Myra would go to buy all forms of candles for birthdays, for celebrations, for gifts, soaps and balms and ointments and trinkets. Definitely Nene's favourite store. And that seems to be slipping away. How's Myra feeling now?
Uh, a little bit depressed, man. kind of a. I feel like I'm living in 1984. Not the year, the book.
Standing in front of the candle store, Myra feels almost like a hand on her shoulder. And could you make a roll for me for success or failure to determine the friendliness of this present?
The tree.
Okay, so it's odd, so it's friendly. Jensen has his hand on Myra's shoulder, going, "Had a feeling you'd take a stroll." And he just kind of hooks his arm to her. And just to determine the conversation, could you make another success or failure roll for me?
One.
Okay. So we're staying positive with the people who we know. And just walking now, taking in the street lights that are used to be a lovely orange bulb hue, has now been changed to that really sparse, almost blue LED. Kind of hisses off the asphalt as they walk home. But they still have each other. And it's feeling better. Because Jensen brought coffee. He has a thermos, pours out, hands it to Moira, and things are just starting to feel that little bit better. About halfway home now, nearly just out of what they consider like the city limits, right before they take the long road
Mhm.
back to the farmhouse. Can you make an intensity check for me?
It's an 18.
Everything's become almost regimented, conveyor belt like. Moira was the last person in the diner. Usually it was 24 hours. Now is quite rigid in its time frame. Say it's about 9 o'clock now. She was the last person out walking down the road, and every store, all of a sudden, the lights go out, the doors open and close, and every single latch at the same time. And the neighbors, who Jensen and Myra once knew, are walking almost like sheep, dead eyed, dull, walking single file, equidistant away from each other. No waves, no nods, no pleasantries. They cross at lights, no looking for traffic. The roads themselves are bare. That natural hum and rhythm to the town. Everything's gotten very eerily efficient. How would Myra and Jensen now take to seeing this almost beehive like display?
Great. I don't like this. It reminds me of something, but I can't put my finger on it right now. You have a very this seems eerily familiar about something else, and I don't know what it is, but it's gonna hit me eventually.
That
I
Myra's
hate
film.
you, Brian.
She feels is eerily similar.
Yeah,
So they are they standing and watching, or you think they're like, get the fuck out of here? Like, how are they kind of?
very much one of those kind of like huh, type situations. Right away when a dog like tilts the head,
Yeah,
but it's uh we don't really kind of want to wait around
cool.
and see. It's also just like let's get home now.
As there seems to be almost like a border, the development and improvement that all of this new money has brought to town, right at the edge of the town that they know, seemingly the city limit, you can see a divide between the cold blue LED lights and the warmer, more traditional bulb. And as they step out of the town and into the warmer light, kind of feel a sense of kind of relief, and they're going home. And that's it. That's the day behind us now, and they're able to just head home. What is Jensen and Myra's kind of usual midweek? Are they just kicking up watching TV? Are they board gamer? Are they board gaming? Are they video gamers? Like, whoa, what are we? What's their go-to? They're fully settled into their life together. Things are really, really good between the two of them, and the home is really starting to become theirs. They're upcycling a lot of the older things, keeping everything as it was, but just giving it their own personal spin. But how do they usually spend a normal midweek together?
It's Wednesday evening. We've both finished work. It's 9 o'clock. We're getting home just in time to watch trash reality TV shows
Excellent.
because I call it my guilty pleasure, but he says they're all stupid and ridiculous, but he sits and he watches them anyway, but he
Yeah, yeah,
knows more
yeah.
of the storylines than I do.
Without question. Like he's
Yeah,
he's like pretending to read, and like every time they're like, yeah, like on the show, real farmers, housewives of Iowa is like, I can't believe that you sold those turnips to that bitch, and you just hear him go, like,
that's exactly where it's at.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it's known, but it's not said.
yeah.
Um, like I'm gonna say a birthday has passed. It's been Jensen's birthday since, and Myra got him all the memorabilia and shirts, like of the show. of which he won't wear any of them in public, but he does wear on his apron in the grocers just a little turnip pin. It's the insignia of the show. And he wears that just as a, because he's not saying it and he'll never say it. But god damn does he love this show. Not just the show, but the time they spend, the whole lovely connection of this is something that is very much symbolic of their relationship. And yeah, another evening comes and goes. And how do you think the how do you think the bakery's going? I would imagine of all the people who aren't, let's say, influenced by this corporate enrichment, are really kind of making the bakery the place to be now. Since
Yeah.
it's like the one.
Business is booming. It's become it's this is a kind of sense that this has kind of become the new hangout to the point where okay, I've actually had to get tables inside. There's tables outside now. I had
Um,
to buy a coffee machine.
can you can you make a success or failure roll for me, please? So we're odds is goods,
Okay, so
evens
we have
is
an 11.
yeah, lovely. There was an
Yes.
opportunity for next door. Next door went up, and during the negotiation, it was explicitly written into the tenancy agreement that they would only sell to people who were, and it was explicitly written, who had the town's best interest in heart. Which is where most people were like, oh, well, there's been these clauses about like investment into infrastructure, which they believed, but just for this store, and maybe it was just out of respect to the family, sold to Myra, which meant they were able to extend the bakery now fully into this like it's proper little cafe now.
Mm,
To the point where they were like, will we start doing food, but we don't really want to eat into the diner. But like it was okay that they knew there was going to be a steady flow between. But now this has essentially just become the place that everyone in town goes to who still have a little bit of light in their eyes. And when Myra's at home, she's comfortable, and when she's in the cafe and the bakery, she's comfortable. It's the ever knowing and unknown presence and like the haunting memory of her grandmother and everything she represents of the town is there. She catches a laugh or a memory or a scent of her grandmother just always there. And she sees it in herself and she makes the same, starting to become more herself again, cracking jokes with people, and now has employed that same complimentary coffee if people are willing to play to the pantomime of it all. But outside, specifically when she's outside and not with Jensen, everything's just unfortunately familiar. There's a town hall meeting. What do you think Myra would like to put forward to speak about?
I think she would look to, I think she'd look, try to return some places as to what they were, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, Is there any?
She wants to see if we can do like a HOA vote to
Yeah,
get rid of the corporate overlords.
fantastic. Um, okay, we're gonna do three rolls.
Okay.
First roll
Hmm.
is going to see success or failure to see will the motion be accepted. Could she garner enough local interest to get it seen?
So we have an 11 on that one.
Okay,
So we have
so good.
interest.
Yeah, people are interested and people are talking. She's been using the cafe to get people to sign up. Um, I'm not going to say she's strong armed everybody, but they're like, if you want your free coffee, you'll fucking sign this. And they're like, you really are your grandmother's granddaughter. And she's like, damn right I am. Can you now make a second of three to see? Ooh, ooh. It has been brought forward. It will remain
For
on
you.
the. It will remain on the agenda, but it's not going to be voted on until Myra has been called for a meeting with the mayor. And can you make a success or failure roll?
It's a fucking success.
Cool.
Where the fuck was that one roll ago?
The mayor knows that it probably won't be successful, and the mayor is agreeable to what she's saying, but can't be seen to be saying it out loud. He has purposely not put this forward, knowing that this is politics. And with politics, there's money. And he is doing quite well from this new infrastructure. Everything that he has wanted and more has happened under his stewardship. He knows what she's saying. He knows that the tenancies that are happening and these takeovers do have clauses, do have buyouts, and do have conditions that they could, and you could, and the townsfolk could slowly erode and then simply milk these bastards for what they're worth and then kick them the fuck out. He's like, look, they fixed the roads. We've got like the we've got better like water systems. We're upgrading. They're getting like proper like fiber broadband. Everything is becoming what they've always wanted for the town. Improvement, you know? The parks are better, the sidewalks are better. Everything is improving. And he knows what she's saying. That this is what he needs to make the decision on. It's like, I know what you want, but this is the way things are for now. And if you want to keep the warm light on, then I'm not going to do anything to stop that. But I can't be seen to be
Endorse it.
forcing.
Yeah.
I can't be that. So, look, as much as people want to, and you've gotten the vote seen, everything in terms of town planning, like for every one vote you get, they basically have another vote. It's really been baked into what they've done in terms of investment in the town. They've they've stacked the deck against us. So it's up to you. You can either play the long game and we can wait them out, or you can force the issue and bring it up next month as a point of emergency at the next town hall meeting. What would you like to do?
I've never been one to play the long game.
Okay.
I don't have the patience for it. I also feel like this uh, company, which is annoying the fuck out of me because I know this story from somewhere. Um, so I'm going to, yeah, no, I'm not one to sit and wait. I'm going to force it.
Okay.
I want the old people back. I don't want the drones anymore. I want the townsfolk to be back to normal.
Okay. So we are going, so it's a month. So that's 4 weeks. In those 4 weeks, I'm going to ask you to make a decision of whether you are going to publicly state this and take this from just behind the counter of the cafe to actively propagandizing your movement. So I'm going to ask you 4 times what you would like to do, how you would like to do it, and whether that will be seen favorably by your opposition. Okay? So going from your meeting, you go home, tell Jensen what you're going to do, and your first week before this final action you are going to make, would you continue to be secretive or would you become more public?
I'd become a bit more public,
Okay.
but in a very um what's the word? Discreet way.
Okay. So you're
So
okay, you're
there's
staying
money,
because yeah.
yeah, because it's like a case of there's money coming into the town, but it's coming from a company. It's not coming from tourism. It's not coming from visitors. It's just one company that is funneling this town.
I mean,
And
you can
basically,
they're literally fucking passing money. It's as close to being money laundering, but it's all completely legit.
yeah,
And it's through tax breaks and donations and charitable causes that they're able to write off things and count. It is just mutually beneficial for this to happen, where most people would be okay with it. Moira's got just that little bit more civil responsibility in that how it's being done is not right. Definitely in the honouring of her grandmother. Now, making a slightly more public but still guarded advancement in trying to convince and advertise this. I won't have you do so at disadvantage meaning roll to take the lesser roll. I'll let you make a straight roll. Um I want we're going to look at 1 to 20 and just to see what this has stirred up in the all-seeing eye of this corporate entity.
it's a straight roll, yeah.
Yeah. Just a D20 just to see the effect.
14.
Okay. Week 1, you have been more public, more outwardly discussing things, just casually talking about these things with everybody who enters in the cafe. You're not putting up signs and you're not doing marches yet, or whatever way you think Myra would go. But in week 2, Myra notices that the clientele in the cafe has increased, but there's a few more dull-eyed people have showed up. I'm not really saying anything, just asking for their order, completely disregarding any passive and friendly banter, just fulfilling transactional the transactional obligations. And money has gone up. It's been a good week of sales from a lot more people, some of which, whether you'd like them there or not, they're there. So in this second week where you see a casual increase in sales, would Moira like to be more public or more discreet about what she's discussing and planning?
Because the drones are in, she's going to be a bit more discreet about how she's talking
Okay.
because it seems like paranoia is kicking in a little bit. It says, are they here to spy? Because the bakery is the only still sit cafe, bakery cafe, is
Mm-hmm.
still the only kind of safe spot that has had no in oh my God, infiltration from these people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, so a bit more discreet around when they're in.
Okay. Um, can you make? Yeah, you're being discreet and they're still there. Yeah, just give us a straight roll, just a D20 to see how that
One
goes.
17.
Okay. Into the third week now. And more people have arrived. Could it be down to the fact that you're being more public about what you're doing? Could it be that, just, hey, it's getting colder and the cafe's the place to go. Coffee's going to sell more in cold weather. But for every second person now, it's in this third week, you start to hear actual chit chat from the drones. And they're actively conducting business in the cafe. And every few people, they start to, they take, they pay. And right as they lift their own payment method, phone, watch, or card, they take their hand off the credit card machine and a note is there. At first, you think it's just like, it was just business cards of the local places, and you're like, ha ha ha, that's what? And as the week goes on, the local logos disappear and the corporate logo remains. There is stacks upon stacks upon stacks of this singular business card. And on the back is the word opportunity, question mark, and an email. So before we go into the final week, there is an email. Would Myra seek to contact the company? Or what would she do with all of these cards?
Same thing on them, yeah.
Yeah. It is got at the start of the week, it was all the local cards, and you thought people were just taking the piss.
Yeah.
or handing in their like their regular customer cards, but then throughout the week there was, as the business picked up and the conversation in the cafe kind of turned to business, and you see more seats being filled and laptops on tables, the cards now left on as people pay start to become this single homogenized same card.
So okay. I throw away all but one.
Okay.
See how I do.
How does Myra, how do you throw them away?
As they're received, there's a little pot, one of those old proper like teapots, ones that you
Yeah.
used to put on the stove, the tin ones,
Yeah.
steel ones. It literally like sits on the side, and I throw it in the pot and light a match after it.
During service.
Sure. Yeah, fuck it. Everyone knows what Myra's like in this place. They've met
Fucking
Nene.
cool.
Know what happened at the barn dance.
Cool. Um, can you just for I need to know this? Can you roll a success or failure roll just to see do you set off this fucking smoke alarm? Okay, you're successful. It's an odd. You are successful in what you were doing. You do not set the place on fucking fire. Um, go again.
And it's not going to
Yeah.
hang.
So
You said roll again, yeah.
no, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. There is, yeah, you've been outwardly dismissive of this, but you've kept one card. What do you
First
do?
one.
Yeah. What do you do?
Like the email address to find out exactly what I can find about the company.
Cool. Um, can you just make a success or failure roll to see can you get information?
I get information.
Ah, you get information. So now can you make the same roll on the D20 again to see just how much?
I don't think I'm getting a lot of information.
You type in. Do you say how do you search? Do you Google? Do you chat GBT? How do you search the email?
So I'm assuming if this is a business email, and if it's like any other business email that exists, it's always going to be info at and then the company name
Yep.
.com, .ie, .org.
Hmm.
So I would literally just search by the company name that's attached to the email
Okay. Um.
on the Google-ish machine.
Cool.
I'll Bing it. Fuck it. No, I'm not going to give Google the credit. I don't trust Google. I'm Binging it.
Cool. Um. You search and you don't find the actual company website because it's a slightly more, let's call it, unintuitive user interface system, that it shows you something attached to yourself. Shows a news article of Myra being hired and applauded in the local newspaper for the company. Local girl done good. Our girl Myra out in the big city. Hope she won't forget us. It's all this lovely, you know, and what you could do and how you can become just like her, out of an online article from the local paper. Having searched that, Myra receives an email from the email that was on the card. And it reads, would you be interested? Nothing more. Black background, white text, company logo underneath, and a checkbox. for yes or no. Would you be interested?
Company that's investing. Is this the company that I worked for previously? I'm
Yes.
assuming.
Yes.
Okay. And in the city, because so the company hasn't moved, the company is investing. So in
Mhm.
the city, do I still have contacts in the old company? Trustworthy contacts in the old company. Do I still have them?
Roll for it. Let's see. Success or failure?
Okay, it's an 8.
No. When you did not resign and you did not acquiesce to HR's terms and conditions, everything seemingly felt like, oh, I obviously can't use my old work email and I can't connect with everybody. But people who you thought were like, hey, we're friends, right? Just seem to just naturally just dissipate. But now thinking, kind of knowing what you know now and seeing how this company really seems to operate, wow, people might have tried to contact you. Maybe they didn't, but the messages never got to you. So you have received an email asking, are you interested, with a checkbox saying yes or no?
Hmm. The gut instinct is to say no, but I need as much information as I can get. So I technically should say yes. Okay, hold on, there's a flip coin. Okay,
Go for it.
I'm just, I'm just gonna go onto the flip coin
Go for it.
thing here.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Okay, so heads, yes, tails, no. Oh shit. Okay, it's heads. Okay.
Yeah. You you are interested?
I'm interested for
Yeah. Fact
I'm
finding.
interested, yes, because I want information, not because I want the opportunity.
You click yes. This is a very interactive email. This is not how your emails usually
Like
are.
fucking Black
And
Mirror.
yeah. And another message comes up and says, do you think Jensen would be interested?
No.
As you click no, the text underneath reads, do you think Jensen would be interested to know that this is all your fault? Yes or no?
Did he know this was all my fault?
Would this seemingly interactive email has now asked you, do you think Jensen would be interested in knowing that this is all your fault? Yes or no?
I mean, like, strictly speaking, he would have know all that. 4 months. He knew I worked for the company. He knew I didn't sign for the company. He was there when I refused the money for the company, and then they decided to buy up everything else in. So, I mean, anyone could see that this was my fault. Is he simple?
Well, would do you think he would be interested in knowing?
I'd be interested. Oh,
He would be.
yeah.
So you click yes,
Uh,
and a final question appears before going into your final week to go to the town hall meeting. The question reads, do you think he would hate you? Yes or no? Would he? Would he not? No? Okay. Um, you're sitting. Where are you? Where's the laptop or the computer?
Kitchen island.
It's kitchen island, and you are facing out into the just into the family
So
home.
I'll tell you exactly the way
Yeah.
I'm. This is how I'm thinking of it in the space of like a sim house, right? So you've got a kitchen island, and then behind you is a dining room table and like a back door. So technically, I'd be looking into where the fridge, the stove,
Mhm.
sink, counter thing, like a little kind of square counter. So technically, he would be coming in. If he was to come into the kitchen, he would just have to like turn slightly to the right, and he could see the laptop.
You
I love how I thought of the layout of my fucking house in this. Then anything.
and the curtains would be this color. Um,
Felt like
can
play the
you
Sims.
can you make a success or a failure roll for me? Okay, good. Um, Jensen claps his hand on your shoulder and he just leans over and goes, "Oh, fuck all forms of this." I mean, I wouldn't hate you for negging on your contract, but I mean, maybe your choice of pajamas, but god damn, fuck these guys.
I'm wearing flannel pajamas, you son of a bitch.
I mean, look, I'm all right with you wearing flannel pajamas, but do they have to be mine? We've had this conversation. Yours don't fit me. I wore I wore them once, and I'll admit it was comfortable, but it like, come on, man. I don't know if you have to be wearing two pairs of pajamas every single time because I know you're gonna take one of them. He he's kind of joking and laughing, and right before the evening goes in whatever way it would during this banterous, frivolous interaction, he says, "I got the same email. They're looking to buy out the grocers."
You proved me wrong.
Mm. What do you think we should do?
Week 4, yeah?
You're going now into week 4, the end
Oh,
of the
okay,
week.
so
So you get another kind of opportunity to say your piece and carry yourself. I mean, you've received this email now, seemingly based on your interactions and how you've been speaking. The eyes are on you. They've contacted you directly. They've contacted Jensen directly, and he doesn't know what to do. He's not sure whether he should accept it and kind of toe the line or reject it.
okay, so we're gonna so going into our fourth week, we're rejecting it, but we're starting a whispering campaign. Because we
Okay.
do have a fair bit of allies in this
Yeah.
still.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we're gonna start the whispering campaign on this one to basically like twist what happened into something a bit more beneficial to our cause that will kind of paint the investors,
Mhm.
which I now believe to be Silver Shamrock from Halloween 3. So this is really familiar. Um, so we're going to twist their actions into intimidation that will more or less look like clearly there's a possibility that everybody got emails kind of like this.
Yeah.
Everyone has secrets. that this company would have been able to dig into, and that's how they kind of get everybody on board. It wasn't about bettering anything. It's just everyone wants to still come out looking squeaky-ish clean.
Yeah.
So yeah,
They
so,
like
okay, so
these emails are like essentially
they're
like
tailored to the
they're they're
business owners.
being you're kind of been provoked and cold called, and it feels like contract tampering and propagandists. It just seems like there has to be some
Intimidation
form of
tactics.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, there has to be some form of legality because of the interactive nature of the emails. Jensen didn't click anything, so you start taking screenshots and printing everything off, and he clicks each time, and you just go through the the same rigmarole that you've gone through. He doesn't get a personalized message like you did, but it does refer to his father, who is since also passed. Jensen has been taken over the grocers and inherited it directly, so there was no way of a takeover. So Jensen receives an email going, how do you think your father would feel about this? Do you
because
think
we
he'd be?
did. Can I just take just time out here for a second?
Yeah.
We got really fucking lucky if the two of us are business owners, successful business owners in this. Wow. We
Local
could sell up and
homegrown.
just fucking move somewhere else altogether.
I mean, hey, it's your story.
Can't leave Nene's ghost wandering around. She'd be pissed at me.
Um,
She'd
whi-
fucking
while
haunt me.
while you say that, you feel a slap on the back of your head going, "Gah." Like it's literally her ghost is there, and she's like, she just looks, doesn't even need to say anything. She's like, so you're thinking what?
Dude, you just hit me in the back of my head.
She like you can in that very like spectral form. It's like, it's not the worst thing I could do. Don't fucking test me, young woman. Then you just hear a very subtle, still love you. Don't be a jackass.
Oh, so we fought. Okay, so we've made contact then.
Like you were saying, like she does. Myra doesn't know this is a legit haunting. She thinks she's just in
Okay, all right.
grief.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to confirm. Okay,
Yeah,
so we're
that's how
still
she feels.
grand. Okay, so we're still getting the cold spots. I'm after feeling like someone's hit me on the head, but I'm also feeling an overwhelming form of not fear, not intimidation,
Yeah,
but that familial
yeah,
way down on you, like, bitch, you're better than this.
yeah. It's like
Okay.
no, like fucking family fucking feud. Like no,
Yeah.
your gut's telling you one thing, and it's
Yeah.
based off your
Okay, so
matriarch.
I get you now. Okay, so we've got two wrong answers, and I'm going for the final answer, which is going to win us big. Okay, yeah.
So
So
you've printed off everything you need to print off. You have a nice little dossier handy to bring to the meeting. You've been quite quiet this week. You've noticed the business is still good. Things are still great. Low overheads and everything's going really well. There's no rent on the property. I mean, you have this like, real golden setup here. Um, that you fit the company cards stop as we're saying. The warm light is glowing a little bit brighter in the cafe, and it's now time for the town hall meeting.
so town hall meeting then when I bring this back to the table, and it's very much going to be uh, our form of exposure of what the company has done
Hmm.
to strong arm businesses to buy in and sell out with them to the point where it's more corruption than uh, actual genuine help.
Yeah, and you've like in terms of the like this is a full on town hall meeting. So are you saying this out publicly, like on mic to everyone, or do you try and say this privately to the mayor?
There's no, because the mayor knows where we stand on this, and the mayor publicly couldn't do anything for me at the last meeting. He knows where he agrees with me, but he had said that he couldn't bat for me. However, if I put him in the hot seat
Yeah.
with this type of information, he has to do something.
So you're stating it publicly, like en masse, bang.
Oh, I'm in the mic. I'm on the microphone to the point where I've brought my own apple box from Jensen's Grocer to stand on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, Jensen standing behind you, not wearing his apron, but does have his the little turnip badge from your favorite show. Um, and he's standing there, bolt upright. Fucking, he's standing beside you, but he's still seemingly like so fucking broad. The prick is still kind of standing behind you as well.
The
He's like,
bouncer.
he's a truck of a man, and he's there stone faced and kind of really, really hoping that someone says something smart because he's not punched someone in a while. Last time he swung a dig at that flower punching bag, he knocked it clean off the chain. So he's been he's not been he's been a bit pent up. So the fact that yous are saying this outright and publicly, I have a final state for this. So can you make a successful role will mean you are talking to the mayor directly. A failure role means you will find a new player.
It's a successful role.
You are talking directly to the mayor. Can you make another failure or success to determine how he will respond to this publicly now?
We're fucking talking to Larry Vaughn.
Okay. He he is moved. He is agreeable, and he states publicly, I know that this town has seen amazing investment and we've seen great opportunities that any other town would have jumped at, but there's something just not quite right about it. Rather than going success or failure, I just want to feel the temperature of the room as he says this. So, can you make a d20 roll? The crowd erupt. People who seemingly were dead eyed and dull start to clap and nod and kind of seemingly shake a corporate spell off themselves. And there is pats on the back and handshakes. And the mayor says, everything that we are as a town is in who we are as people. And that's what we will remember. We are not to be bought. And we will tomorrow go to City Hall. Everyone bring every form of contract piece of paper, and we will rid this town from this strong handing company. Everyone high fives, everyone having a great time, and everyone clears out. The mayor kind of wipes his brow, and as he's ushering everybody out and give everyone thumbs up and really feeling that sense of community connecting again. And he says to Moira, look, I know people say it a lot, but it's great to know that her spirit is still here. We're going to do the right thing. And he kind of ushers everybody out. Everything is locked up and he walks off. And it's just you and Jensen standing on the steps. And can you make a success or failure roll for me, please?
Success. Where the fuck are all these bloody successes when I need them for bloody future wrestling boxy games? We need to start using 20 die rice. I'll talk to Jonathan. Price.
Without it actually happening, the town seems to be just a little bit warmer tonight.
Mm-hmm.
The walk home is comfortable. Stepping past the city limits and turning around and really feeling like you've taken your town back. Walking home and hand in hand and just excited to see your next episode of Real Farmers' Wives of Iowa State. Can you make an intensity check for me?
The 20 die, yeah.
Yes, please.
Great.
Stepping past the city limits now, the dynamic has changed. The town seems warmer, but going home seems just, I don't know. There's a sense that something's not quite right. Opening the door to the family home, and the rug is gone. The bear skin rug is no longer there. And there is a business card where the rug was. What would Myra do?
Do. First one being, what the fuck is the rug? Second one would be to turn to Jensen. Did you not lock the fucking door before we left for the town hall meeting? Yeah, I'm blaming him for this one. And thirdly would just be this fucking company. Is it the exact same type of card that I've already gotten with an email on it, or is there a different message on it?
Walking over and picking it up, you see the same company logo, and you turn it over, and you see different contact details. You see Dan Morton and a phone number. And with that, I will bring this episode of Brian's Mind Palace to an end. For everyone who has seen previous episodes, you may or may not recognize that name. So do go back over the previous episodes and come back here and let me know. Amy, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your story. And I do look forward to the next one, where you might meet someone who might be hiding
Excellent timing.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and NPs of all ages, this has been Brian's Mind Palace. Please like, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, mind yourself. I'll see you in the next one.